Tonight I am going to flip through this journal. It is about a 5x7. It's a cheap journal I bought at AC Moore before they went out of business, I believe it was. And it's just a cheap journal. It's a swap journal for the website SwapBot I signed up for a swap to swap a journal with. So once this is done, I'm going to decorate and address an envelope for the recipient, and I'm going to send it out. I just want to do a real quick flip through because I'm really proud of it. I love it, and I did another journal swap, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't save that one via images. So this is just the name of the swap and the months that I filled it out in, a little bit of decoration, and then I always like to put a picture of me on the first page of all of my journals. This is just a quote that I found that I liked from Charlotte's Web. It says, "Salutations or greetings. It's my fancy way of saying hello," and I figured that was a good first page. This is just kind of an art page. Now that we got hand washing down, let's work on turn signals. And this was towards the beginning of all of the quarantine and stay-at-homes. I wrote about my family on this page. I'm not going to read it, but she's talking about how it's not so great having to be so far away from family all the time. This, I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been in another video that I watched at some point or on an Instagram, but I kind of liked this. It says, "Dear Universe, I trust you. I know that you are guiding me always. Thank you, Ashley." And the back I used, sorry, I bumped it with my head. So the back I used watercolor, blue and black watercolor, and then I used a white Uniball. And then on this one I used colored pencils and a pen, and it's just things that I'm grateful for. This was around Easter, so I put in just a really simple deviled egg recipe, a list of my favorite movies and favorite songs. I doodled these and then used pens and colored pencils to decorate them. So Green Mile, Stay Alive, Seven, La Haine. La Haine is a really good movie, and they both came out in '95. City of God, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, Pan's Labyrinth, La La Land. And then my favorite songs: Paint It Black, Float On, Time in a Bottle, Santa Monica, Love Me Dead, Tonight Tonight, The Distance, and The Joker. And then on this page I used a cutout from manuals because my husband started work at home. This is just a little write-up about a cemetery that's pretty near to where I live, and it's just an old African cemetery that from a plantation that used to be here. This was done with watercolors and some magazine cutouts, and just a really great quote: "A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset." And for a long time this didn't have the flowers. I finally found something to put on the page, and I love them. So I used some magazines for this decorative page, and then I used information from actionagainsthunger.org and feedingamerica.org about how many people live in poverty and with food scarcity in America and around the world, because it was just something that was kind of interesting and important to me. This is a local-ish eatery, and talking about how I love it. I actually did this one on one of my journals videos, and then I talked about getting my new watercolors. I do enjoy them, and I've learned to use them a little bit better. This was just kind of getting my feelings out about school and how I felt about not being able to be at work. I'm going to glue this down a little bit. It's coming up. This is just kind of a travel list of places that I would like to go someday. So Edinburgh, Scotland, Havana, Cuba, Park City, Utah, Budapest, Hungary, Machu Picchu, Peru, Jalisco, Mexico, And I just kind of made this page because I was just feeling the stay-at-home blues, and so I was doing some research about places far away. These are the lyrics to Blue October's song Home. I really love this song. I love Blue October in general. They're a really great band. And so I just used some washi tape down the middle, decorated the sides, and wrote the name down here. These are my cats. Oh my gosh, this isn't staying down. I might need to really tape it. So this is the center of the book, and that's why I put some tape in the middle to make sure to reinforce it, but it's not staying well. So these are my cats. These are my cats. Benny and Mouse are my cats. Benny is the boy, Mouse is the girl. They're brother and sister, and they are currently across the country with my mom because we could not bring our animals with us, and I should be going home soon to get them. So fingers crossed that works out. And then this was the bag to an old, I believe it was Cracker Barrel bag. I bought like some postcards that I found, lost and found. And so I liked that, enjoy every little thing. And so I kind of just went through my magazines one day and found all these little words that, you know, I'm thankful for. Put some washi at the top and down the side. Enjoy the journey is what the washi tape says. And then just stuff I'm thankful for: berries, good vibes, butts, community, sauces, nature and sea, grilling, tea, lapdog, chocolate, irrigation, friends, crafting, tacos, home, coffee, long weekend, exercise, technology, spicy food, and hope. And yeah, I kind of like the simplicity of this page. And then this was another page that I just kind of whined about having to stay home and the things I missed. This was a picture of a car that I saw one day driving, stopped at a stoplight, and this was crossing. My husband was driving, I was in the passenger seat, so I snapped a photo, and I just talked about how I miss secondhand shopping a lot. This was about, you know, not being able to use reusable, another complaint about staying at home, but this was about not being able to use my reusable bags and our overflow of grocery sacks and just kind of that. And then I like this quote down here that I found in a magazine, and I kind of put it on this cutout of flowers, and it says, "Another good reason to head outdoors. When we connect with nature, we're more motivated to protect it, experts say." So I kind of like that. This is from Loveland's Life Patreon. And here I'm talking about yoga and a meditation app that I downloaded. I liked this picture. This picture actually, I think with this here, I think there was a picture of her laying in the grass, and then this picture on the opposite page. And I liked how this looked, so I kind of just glued her in and put the rays coming out around her. This is a bit of washi tape I got in a different exchange. And then I talked about the apps I'd been using for yoga and meditation that were helping me with my sanity for a little while there. The My Life app to meditate, and then for yoga I was using like Yoga for Beginners, I think. And then this is where I kind of just started not being as creative. You'll see. This was for a lavender rub for meat, and I wrote about how I'd like to try it next year. You can see a real difference with my handwriting on these pages because I was not in the best mental place while I was working on these two pages in particular. So I found that in a magazine, and I just cut it out and wrote about how I'd like to grow my own lavender and try that next year. This over here is just me, another cutout from a magazine that I liked and thought was pretty, and then I talked about propagating my plants recently and how I might give it back to a coworker, as like she moved in during quarantine, and so she wasn't able to have a housewarming gift and party, and so I might give that to her. Another little bit of a moan and complaint about summer not feeling like summer. Like, everything's just kind of weird. I miss the lemonade. I miss the fresh made lemonade in the sunshine on the back porch. And like, I could have that now, but it just feels so different. You know, where you are, I'm not sure if you're feeling different, but I'm feeling different. We're still taking precautions, and it's just not the same. And this is some recent reading that I had done. So I did Where the Crawdads Sing, White Fragility, Alice Isn't Dead, Elevation, There, Just Mercy, A Story of Justice and Redemption, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria, and Between the World and Me. And I've read all of these ones except White Fragility. I'm about halfway through because I just haven't had the motivation. They're great. I would suggest all of them. I'm really proud of my doodle down here. Look at that, guys. That is so good. Like, look. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. On the next page, I'm complaining that my home is not done. So we had our sewer line break in January, literally right after we moved in. Like a week after we moved in, it started backing up, and it started from there, and now it's the beginning of July almost, and it's still not together. So I was just complaining, hoping that hopefully it gets back together before my son's birthday at the start of August, but I'm not holding my breath, and that's just kind of how my entire experience with this house has been. So this is just a little, found this in a magazine too, and it says, I'm flying back to Idaho to get our dogs in July, and I'm kind of scared, so I'm gonna get my dogs and my cats and bring them back in July. And I'm just a little worried about it, but we'll see. This over here is my own quote. Sometimes you need to unplug so you can recharge. It might be something similar to something else that was said out there, but I don't know. It just kind of came to my head. I had to delete my Facebook for a while, and my other social media, because it just got to be a lot. So that's where this page came from, and I messed up a little bit on it, but I still like it. It's one of my more favorite pages, even though it's simple. I talked about basketball at my school and the kids, my phone issues, and how it won't connect to Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi anymore. Talked about racism. You know, that's been a big thing that's going on, and so I just kind of got it all out in here for my partner, and talked about what my family's been doing. When we know better, we have to do better, and I think that is really, really the lesson we need to go on from here. This made me laugh. So it's the two Lego guys, and it says, my stomach hurts, and then this is a 19th century doctor. It's probably ghosts. And then they look at each other. Anyway, here's your prescription, and it's cocaine. Which, you know, they used to really, and I kind of write about that over here, they used to really prescribe cocaine for, like, everything, and then they figured out it was addictive and stopped doing it. And that's kind of how science works and the healthcare industry works. We have to get new information and change, and people aren't seeming to understand that with all of the stuff that's going on with, you know, this pandemic. We've got to gather more information, reassess, and change directions. Whether it's what you want or what you don't want, the direction we go in, but, you know, scientific method. This is just a picture of a pie, and then I talked about how my daughter has been learning baking, and she got a mixer for her birthday, and then the recipe for the summer berry pie, which has blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries, and a crumble on top, and does that not look delicious? Ours did not look. Was pretty delicious, but did not look that delicious. And then last pages, This is a quote I found somewhere, was not attributed to anyone, and it says, "The best time for ice cream is always." And then I talked about how over here my family all loaded up in the car together and went through the drive-thru at Dairy Queen, and it was a little thing, but it was something, and it really was nice for all of us to have that bit of normalcy. And then my last page is just a thank you. I hope you enjoyed my journal/notebook. I couldn't stop at just 10 entries. Thank you for taking the time to look through it. Stay safe always. Yeah, so this journal, you only needed to do 10 entries and then send it to them, but I obviously could not stop at 10. Like, who can stop at 10? I mean, look at that happy-filled journal. Are you telling me, like, 10 would have been that much? It would have been like this. These pages, 10 entries, 1 entry a page, and then the rest of it empty? I don't think so. I don't think that would have worked for me. I could not have slept well at night knowing that is what I did for this person. So, here we are. That's how it is. And I am going to finish getting this out tomorrow because the deadline is the end of June, and so I've got to get it out before the 1st, and I am rapidly running out of time because I don't procrastinate. I just wait until I am fully ready. Yes. Absolutely. Don't procrastinate at all. Nope. Yeah, so that's what I have. I hopefully will be doing more of these. I was a little under the weather, I guess we could say, and so I didn't do anything for like a month. Like, I literally did not journal for a month at all, from May 26th to June 26th. Life just stopped, and that's okay. Sometimes life has to stop. You have to unplug so that you can recharge, and I did that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Stick around for more. Hopefully they're coming soon. And let me know below which page you liked the most. Did this inspire you? What are you going to take away from this and put into your own? So, yeah. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Good night.